Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to the Indigo Inspire Live Show, the collab here on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us tonight for a very special broadcast. Tonight, we have our special guest, Ms. Anita Wilson, will be joining us later in the show. But in the meantime, we'll take this opportunity to say, hey, share this live. You will not want to miss this show tonight, because Anita just dropped a hot new album called Soul Sister. And so we're going to be talking with her about the new project, what she's been up to with the past couple of years, and just a lot of other industries things we're going to be talking about tonight too. So right now, I'm going to just bring on my co-host here into the virtual studio, Mr. Sherwood Williams from Gospel Music Buzz is here in the building.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, y'all? What's happening with you? We got a lot of updates. So we're gonna kind of pace ourselves as we get through it. But I'm good. What's happening with you? How was the week so far?
The week has been good so far. You know, fall is here, so I'm in my element. I feel like I can breathe now. I saw the temperature go up to 80 here in Philly, and I said, wait, summer, back up. I rebuke you. So I'm feeling pretty good. So a lot of things going on this week. We have the Video Awards, which you're going to be talking about shortly. And we're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back. We'll talk about what's going on Billboard, what's going on in the Avidities, what's going on with the pre-dubs. We got all the...
You got a lot happening. Yep.
We got a lot happening. So we'll be right back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is our shop, Indigo Apparel. We are excited to be launching our brand new line that we are going to be unveiling officially on October the 28th of this month. And we are dropping also a surprise concert. Yes, you are hearing it tonight.
It's wow.
Concert coming to Philadelphia. You know, people will do stuff and they'll advertise stuff ahead of time, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? We are dropping this live and hot tonight on Thursday, October 20th in Philadelphia. The one and only Anthony Brown and group Therapy will be with us to help the launch of our Shop Indigo brand. When I tell you it's going to be fire. And we also have Hamilton Hayward, who is well known within the music industry from scoring to producing. He is also part of that, as well as our local musician out of the Delaware area, Mr. Tim Wortham Jr., with a hot new single called Woo by Felicia. Let me just say this. If you have not gotten Tim Wortham's project, shame on you. You need to go get that album. He is coming in hot with that brand new project. So definitely you want to get it. So
and you can go back to and listen to it, because you did interview Tim as well too, right?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
There. You can go back and listen to the interview with him as he talked about the project. But yeah, I mean, I've been seeing you dropping, hints and dropping some clues throughout the week. I'm like, what's going on? I mean, even I was in the back like, what is this? I'm waiting for this big announcement. So now that I see what's going on, as you went ahead and you unveiled it. So yeah, I definitely have to make sure if I'm wrong and I'm not traveling, for sure, I will be in the building. So you best believe, and I will be stocking up on my merch as well too. So I will be in the building and I'm going to be stocking up. So make sure you have extras in my size.
Oh yeah, we absolutely will. And so as we talk about what's going on in the industry, let's bring up what's happening with let's go down some news. We got the Billboard. Let's talk about
so for Billboards right now, number one, we still got, James Mabel is still on number one, 2 weeks in a row. James is holding it down. Uncle G promo, hardest working dude in the industry right now, getting it in. And then, someone else that we've been tracking to, Lamont Sanders, came from number 8 to number 7. So steadily making his way up there. to go meet James, making his way to go high five James. And then, and then
It was disrespectful taking Taylor Man out of her number one spot. You know what? It's all fair in the gospel music industry.
he's gonna high five him. He's gonna high five him.
Yeah.
And then also Angela Moss Pool is number 10. So Angela is still rounding out that top 10 amongst others. So yeah, so that's happening. Speaking of Angela,
Yeah, go ahead.
at the Avidity Awards, Angela also won Female Artist of the Year. So congratulations, Angela, to that.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
Angela's doing some amazing things. And also on the Avidity Award, someone else that was also on the show, Ashley Renee,
Yes.
actually won for Album Artwork of the Year. So if you haven't seen her album artwork for Same God, you have to see it.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to the project has something for everyone. It's such
Yeah.
a global, universal song. So Ashley Renee is just owning her own uniqueness and just doing some amazing things. But yeah, congratulations to Ashley Renee as well for her win, as well as everyone else. And the award show is actually going on right now
Yeah.
in North Carolina. I know they had the red carpet earlier today, and the award show is happening right now.
Absolutely. And we have coming up next week the Dove Awards.
Yes, the Dove Awards, that's happening on the 22nd. And whenever there's a big award show, shout out to Carlos Hale, Urban
Carlos
Soul
Hale.
Cafe, always putting it down. The hottest pre-show for anything, whether it's Stella Doves. If there's something going on, Carlos Hale is the guy you want to go check out, Urban Soul Cafe. And he has the pre-Dove party. And
Yes.
if I that's on the 18th. And if I say the amount of people that's gonna be there, this thing is stacked. I'm
It,
looking at it and I'm just like, how many days until the 18th? 4 days? Can I
first of
get
all, I
a
was like,
hotel?
can I get it? Can I still get a ticket? Can I fly? Can I get there? Can I get there?
Can I
Man,
get a
listen.
hotel? I'm gonna start biking from today. I'm gonna get a bike and
Well, enough of our banter. Enough of our banter. So I hope you guys are keeping up with what's happening on Billboard with all the gospel music independent artists that you love. They really are making waves. But right now, I'm telling you who's coming in and kicking the door down. She is in the building, the one and only and the beautiful Ms. Anita Wilson. Listen,
Hi.
soul sister, soul sister.
Thank you. Thank
she,
you.
she says,
I
so sis, I'm thinking like, I need to put up my hand like this. Like,
Right.
you don't know what's the right approach here.
for sure, for sure.
All of it works. All of that works.
I know you have been on promo tours, virtually and all over the place. And
Yeah.
so we just thank you so much for accepting our invitation to be on the show and talk
It's my
about this.
pleasure.
Oh my goodness. I listened to it with no bias, just from start to finish.
Mhm.
You kicked the gate down
Oh
with your
man.
I I
Thank you.
so I don't know if we're the last interview for the night. I'm hoping we are, because I really do want to just go in. We are?
Yes, you
Okay.
are.
Yes, we are. So okay. So I need you to sit back, relax, take a deep breath, get a
Yeah.
sip of water. But we're not going to keep you too long, but we definitely want to celebrate you because you've been rocking
Thank
in this
you.
industry for so long. And
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna be honest with Anita, you're ageless.
Come on,
Your
talk about
check
it.
is in the mail, huh? Thank you. I'll take that.
You are absolutely ageless. And I'm just thinking, your swag has been on 1,000, from the
Wow.
earlier days. So it's
Yeah.
so, and I love that because you don't put yourself in somebody else's box. You are generally authentically you. And I
Thank
think
you.
that is so dope. I think it is. I think it's so dope.
Thank you,
Um,
Patrice. I appreciate that.
for sure, for sure, for sure. So
Yeah.
let's talk about this soul sister and the art. Talk about artwork. Now, everybody's talking about that jacket.
That
Eh,
jacket, honey.
that whole vibe that you threw off. That is fire. So even who did, the
Thank
artistic
you.
creativity behind that and you doing that as well is just awesome.
JP Designs Art. JP Designs Art is the
JP did that.
company.
Okay, nice, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he
JP
does
did some amazing
amazing
stuff.
work. I've been working
Yeah,
with JP since 2014. He's super dope. So it's always
yeah.
great to just work through the creative process with him and let him hear the music along the way from the demo stages and all that. So the question I always ask is, what does this music look like? You know, what does this music look like? So I love what we came up with. The creative process is always fun with JP. So I think that where we landed definitely depicts. It's a little mysterious because you don't know what to expect from the music, but I think once the picture comes together with hearing the music, I feel like it all goes together well. So shout out JP.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. And from start to finish, from Real Love all the way down to Still Alive. I mean, I followed the journey, and I have to say that it every album you bring a different flavor, and every album there's always something that's a favorite of mine. And even though we'll talk about Still Alive and exactly how that came about,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to say, when I put on Real Love, I said, I'm driving. I use it's my best place to hear music because I'm undistracted by family, kids, the whole 9 yards of cooking. So I'll just go on and turn it up. And when I heard Real Love, I'm like, oh, well, snap, go ahead.
All right.
I said, oh,
hit me with that vibe. Hit me with that vibe.
Oh my goodness. I was like, go ahead. And so I'm going down, and then we got to the next one with featuring B Slade. And of course, I'm a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
Before the name change, Tone still to me, I'm praying my dude will come out with an album. I'm praying he come out with an album.
I know. I'm just honored to have him on this album because I'm like, we miss you and your expertise, man. You're amazing. So I'm just honored to have him on it. Yeah.
But even that working session too, because I saw you released a video a few days ago, and just looking at that and seeing the working session, and as you're just hinting one thing, and he just without no explanation picks up what you want, makes a change on the fly, plays it back. So talk to us even about that. So when you were making that, going through that process, so you guys recorded separately, so you weren't in the same room when you were doing that. So how kind of what was some of the issues there, if any at all, or how was that process in this new age of doing music? Like, how was that?
For sure. Well, Soul Sister is definitely my my quarantine album. We started recording this album. We always prepare more than a year in advance with just writing. Of course, I write and produce with my husband, Rick Robinson. Shout out to Rick Robinson. So the pre-process is us walking around the house and just going throughout our days and singing vibes and feeling new vibes and feeling like, is this something that we're going to write for somebody else, because we write and produce for other artists as well, or if it feels good, I'm like, let's hold that for me. I feel like it feels good. Don't you get it to nobody else, so that process starts probably 1 to 2 years ahead of time. But last year was about September when we started actually recording. So the session with B Slade, I think it was December-ish when we did that remote session with B Slade, and it was an all-nighter. Of course, he's on the West Coast. I'm in Chicago, so I thought it was just gonna be like a couple of hours, but we ended up. It can be tedious, recording the recording process. Period. Let alone from one location to another. So we hopped on Zoom and just kind of work through the song. Of course, I sent him a demo, so he knew how it was gonna go. But I love it because he put his own little flavor in different areas, and I love that where you don't have to feed every detail to the people that you're working with, but they kind of know, they feel the direction and they know what spaces to kind of take liberties. So it was great, and it was just an honor to even vocal produce B Slade, and for him to do what I call on my album, what he does signature BGVs. Some people that do BGVs, they blend in, they do their thing, but you know, some voices, they just have a thing about them, you know, and you know, even if you don't see the credits, you kind of know that voice or
Yeah,
know that
yeah.
style. He's definitely one of those. So I was honored that he did the signature BGVs on Still Alive, and did the Making Ways reprise as well. So it was really cool. I think you mentioned kind of the challenges. The most of the challenges was to be expected, you know, the little hiccups and the delays with being on
Yeah.
technology, you know,
Yeah.
from one location to another. But we worked through that. You'll see me on one of those, you know, shots. I was yawning because it was getting
I
later.
thought I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask what time.
We're there. You are muted. There we go.
Am I back?
You are back. You are live.
Okay, all right.
ahead.
I'm sorry. These phones, hang on. The people trying to hit me up. Let them know. Okay, one sec. All right, sorry guys, but yeah, it was, other than the few delays of the technology, it was, you know, I got sleepy from time to time, and we started recording around midnight, and the sun was coming out when we got done. But it was cool. I mean, when you love what you do, it's not really work, you know. So it was really a cool experience, the way it came together. And B Slade talking about he honored to be on my album, but I am honored to have him on mine. So it's super cool. So always humbled when people kind of lend their talents to your new album. So yeah, God is good.
That is
the whole.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's a whole bunch of honored people because he's honored, you're honored. It's just a whole bunch of honored people in there.
Listen, I was honored to hear it. So I listen. Okay, so everybody's getting honored.
Thank you. Okay. Well, thank you. God is good. God is good. I never take it lightly when people are cool, you know, and consent to work together. So this album deserved this is a very special album to me. So I'm happy about the collaborations that are on it.
But even taking it back to the name, right? Because I'm always intrigued about the name of a project.
Pause.
Uh-huh.
Because your voice is sounding real computerized, like when the kidnapper man is putting a different thing on his voice. So maybe that call messed me up. So I'm going to log off and log right back on, if that's okay. Maybe that'll reset us. I'll be right back.
That'll be fine. Patrice,
all right. And so am I singing? What are you hearing?
I'm good. I think it was when she got that phone call, it kind of intercepted the signal. So as she's about to come back, we'll take an opportunity to take another short break, and we will be right back here on Indigo Inspire Live. Hey, don't forget, share this link and let them know Anita is in the building. And we're back here on Indigo Inspire Live, here live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. And thank you so much once again for taking the time to join me and Sherwin from Gospel Music Buzz on this beautiful Thursday evening. So, hey, if you're seeing this evening, you're part of this evening, it is a blessing to be alive, for sure.
It's true.
To be able to see and to participate in this. So we had a little technical issue, but we are bringing Ms. Anita back into the room, and I think we are all good now.
Yep.
Hey, there you go.
Yay. I think we're good. Yes. I'm back.
We are good. We're good.
I'm like, now I know he has a deep voice, but some ain't right about this. Let me recalibrate. I'm back. You were saying, sir,
No, I was saying, I'm always intrigued about the name of a project, because I'm sure you spend all this time recording, doing this, and after almost a whole year plus, now you're going to sit down and say, now, what do I name this child? Like, you know, I just birthed this project. What am I going to name it? And that's such a significant part of the project. So tell us, how did you come about with the name? What made you went in that direction versus I'm sure there was tons of other names on the table. So talk us through that process.
Yeah, this I feel like I was inspired with this name early last year. It just kind of came to me because, as you guys see from my first album, I've always loved I love soul music. As you see from
Mhm.
these these covers behind me, I love soul music, and I think that it's important to keep soul in gospel music. Because the sound is changing of gospel a little bit, and well, a lot bit, and I think that sometimes it can lack the soul sound. So that's always a very organic part of the music that we create. And from album to album, I've always kind of built on the foundation that we previously set. So it just felt, I don't know, it felt organic to the space that I was in um, on this album. And to what you said, I feel like when I had that thought, we knew that was it. It wasn't even a whole lot of
Uh,
other options for
okay.
this album. I
Okay.
was like, yeah, that feels good. That feels good. I think all this time, my personality has come through on not only the
Mm.
music that I do, but my presence on social media, or when I get to meet people that listen to the music and appreciate the music, or when we travel around and stuff. And I'm just chill. I'm laid back. People say they call me that auntie, or my best friend in my head, my sister girl, that kind of thing. I know part of my purpose is to, help people to feel comfortable and just not be real judgmental and always show love. So I
Yeah.
think that that name just felt good, and it felt organic to the space that I'm in. This fourth album, I don't feel like I have to prove anything anymore. I'm very comfortable
That's
just
good.
being in this space that I'm in. I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, Soul Sister, just it was kind of that light bulb that we didn't even have to think further on it. It felt good.
Yeah.
It felt good. Yeah.
Well, that is awesome. Now, one of the next song that I literally had to pause because immediately from the door, "You Are Not Alone." And can I tell
Mm,
you the timing of this song could
mm,
not have come at a better time in for all of us.
wow.
We've made mention over and over again through through our interviews that, you know, life happens, COVID happened, things happen, life changes.
Hmm.
We've lost friends, we've lost loved ones, and
Yeah.
I know for me personally, it felt like it's a constant state of grief. You
Yeah.
have waves of feeling good, but then that wave of grief kind of takes you and can overwhelm you.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
um, and just the process of all this job losses, sickness, the whole 9 yards. And when
Yeah.
I heard this, "You Are Not Alone," I mean, it was really a sweet answer to prayer through music. It
Oh,
really
thank
is. So
God.
I just want you to know
Wow.
that song blessed my heart, and that comes from
Mm,
a genuine place. So if
thank
nobody else
God.
tells you, I just want to say thank you so much for pinning that,
Thank you.
putting it on the project. Faith's contribution, you guys. I mean, I would love to see you guys do that live because I'm serious. You better have a tissue
Yeah.
behind next to all of your seats when you do that one because I'm telling you,
Right.
yeah. So that's a
Yeah,
beautiful
yeah. I
song.
hope thank you so much. Thank you. My husband Rick wrote that song, and it was a beautiful, and it's just repetitive. It's not a heck of a lot of lyrics. It just repeats, but it's something that it's sat in a very necessary space. I think a lot of people needed to hear that. A friend of mine called with a face full of tears after listening to that song.
Yep.
And he was like, everything's cool. I can't, life is cool. Everything's all right. But it was something about it that the moment that I heard that song, it really hit me in a space. He was like, because I can feel alone a lot. We wear our smiles,
Yeah.
we do our thing, and everybody thinks that everything is just perfect,
Yeah.
for us. Cause she always cool. She always cracking jokes, and he's so funny and they so cool. But we could be hurting inside and really feel alone in a room full of people sometimes. So I'm grateful that song resonates that way. Um, I don't know if you're getting to it, but it's another song on the album that makes people cry, and so we shy away from a good cry so much. And sometimes we need a good cry. And
Yeah.
sometimes, as much as we feel that lump in our throats, our eyes start welling up, we swallow that and we like, okay, anyway, let me get back to work. And you mute that.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you just let yourself go there, you feel better. You feel a little pep in your step after you let that cry out. So it's kind of your permission to just take a moment. And I'm glad that the music meets the listener right where they are, whether they knew they needed that or not.
Yeah.
And if it's okay, I really like to play a snippet of that. They have to
Mhm.
download it, but I want to play a snippet of that because I really want
Yeah,
them to hear this song
for sure.
and get the blessing from it. So here we are. You Are Not Alone by Ms. Anita Wilson featuring Faith Evans. Here we go.
You are not alone. You're never too far for God to feel your pain and heal your broken heart. You are not alone. You're never too far for God to feel your pain, and heal your broken heart. You heal your broken heart. So it's okay to cry. Okay to cry. Those tears will make you strong. Oh, make you strong. He's never left your side. Never left your side. This hurt won't last too long. Yeah. You are not alone. You're never too far. And you're never too far. Oh, yeah. To feel your pain and heal your broken heart. It's okay. I know you gotta be strong all the time, but it's okay to crash. Every one of those tears will water the seeds you sow. Oh, he's right there. He's always been right there. This hurt won't last. This hurt won't last.
Wow.
If Let me just say this to the audience and for those who are on here live and that will be listening to this interview, it will bless your heart. Please support this project by Miss Anita Wilson, Soul Sister. It from top to bottom, it is quality, it is authentically her, and it is new music that you just heard. Like she said, this is now where she is. She's not afraid to be who she is, and bringing this sound is it will bless you. So please support it, download it, purchase these projects. They put so much love and effort into it. So it's available everywhere you purchase music. Stream it, the whole 9 yards, because we want to see this project hit the top 10. And I'm saying she's gonna be in the top 10 within the next couple of weeks. I believe that sincerely.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sincerely.
So just a quick note on that. Patrice and her predictions. The last three guests came on. She predicted that, and right now all three of them are in the top 10.
Really? Okay. Well, listen. Speak that thing. Speak it. Speak it again.
We were just talking
Wow.
about it at the top of the show.
Wow. Wow. Your words
So
have power, ma'am. Yes.
Oh,
Come on, let's keep speaking it.
Okay,
Mhm.
I know anointed music when I hear it.
Exactly. I was gonna
Thank
ask a
God.
question
I appreciate
about the Faith collaboration. So everyone listening to it, the first thing when I listened, I'm like, Faith Evans. So tell us, how did that even come together? Because I'm all about the backstory. So tell us, how
Yeah.
did when you were writing a song, like how do you decide, like, okay, who would be a good fit for this song?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
want to pick this person versus that individual, and then the process of
Mhm.
reaching out, setting it all up, like just
Yeah.
share as little or as much as you choose to.
For sure, for sure. Well, Rick wrote that song, and we thought about a few different collaborations that could have been amazing, but he kept leaning towards Faith Evans. He said he kept hearing her sing it, and I was like, because Rick, I'm very practical because I've been running my career all this time. So like I'm independent. My mind goes straight to budget. My mind goes straight to the how of it all. So I'm like, so how are we gonna do that? Like I don't know Faith Evans,
Okay, wait. So are we're not talking. This is not even a husband wife talk. This is now business. Okay, how's this gonna work?
Yeah. How is this gonna work, sir? And he's like, I don't know. We can figure it out because we know people that know her, and Donald knows her, and Kathy and different people know her. Maybe we can ask them to, she actually sang us. Well, she did a couple of things with Donald Lawrence. She did a studio version of a song, but he did a live 20th year recording that she was at. And it was one of the last times I sang background with Donald Lawrence and company with my family. And so my mind went there. I have a picture with her and stuff. So I'm like, well, maybe Donald can. So one day she did a live IG, I think around the 25th anniversary of her first album. And, I kind of commented, and then she was like, oh, hey, Anita Wilson, I love your music, Anita Wilson. I was like, what?
Wow.
What? So I was tripping. So like after that, I was like, maybe I'll just jump. Sometimes I can procrastinate so much. The way I say it, sometimes I just have to push myself off the edge, like just see. So I DM'd her on IG, and I asked her, would it be okay, that we had a song with her in mind. I was working on a new album. Would it be okay? Would she give me an email address, and would she be willing to listen to the song? She hit me back, fairly quickly. And she was like, totally, I would totally be down to listen. My life is a little crazy. I got this and that going on, so I wouldn't be able to do anything soon, but we could work it out. Send me the song. So I was like, okay, cool. So I sent her the song, and the song resonated with her. Back to that, Patrice, thank God that it felt good. She was like, I've actually been listening to it just when I needed encouragement. I really like this song. So I was like, wow, that's a blessing. So right.
I got the oil. Go ahead.
Exactly. You plugged in, so I was like, wow, that's great. So she consented, and that's the point actually where she said, I got a lot going on. I wouldn't, be able to do it super soon. What's your deadline? And that's where working well in advance is in my favor. I didn't have to be like, can you get it done by next week? I was like, it was about this time, like October-ish last year. And she was like, I may need a few months. And I was like, that's cool. We won't be even at that process of actually recording till around February. It's all good. So that's where really working in advance plays in my favor, not to have to rush anything. So I was in touch with her here and there. And, as we tightened up the processes, the band laying the music, and then background vocals and all that. So I would just keep sending her the updated version of the track. And we finally did, we did a couple of remote sessions. I'm going to post some of those too, like me and B Slate did. And then she kind of cut the vocals, and it was great. It was really cool working with her. And when I talked to her, I told her how I was like wondering how I was going to get in touch with her. And I was like, I was going to have Donald hit you, and I was going to have Catherine hit. She was like, I didn't even remember you sang with Donald. And I was like, really? She was like, no, I know you because I know your music. Like, I listen to your music. So I was like, the head explodes, the head exploding emoji. Like, what? I'm 90s R&B all day. Like,
of course,
I love 90s R&B. So I love Faith Evans. So to hear that, it just means so much. So she was really cool to work with, and we got that done. And she knocked it out the park, of course. And I was just glad that it was also a song that she says she plays in her spare time too, when she needs to be encouraged. So yeah, really, really grateful. Really, really grateful for that. I'm going to be on my IG live tomorrow with her. I've been doing something called Inside the Song. Yeah. To just kind of talk about, the process and just working together and stuff. So she's been, sometimes you link up with people and they like, I'll give you this. Now don't be bothering me about none of this stuff. I did your song, little girl, gone,
Yeah.
But she's been super cool. She was like, your album's out, give me something to post. And, I was like, can you do this IG live? She was like, yeah, next Friday works. That's perfect.
Wow.
So I'm excited. I'm excited. And to what you said, again, keep speaking, Patrice, because I really do want to, we got to get at least one good live performance of that song together. So I hope we can make that happen one day too.
Miss, well, first of all, I'm already in contact with Leonard.
Okay.
And that's all. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all.
Well, I have to say, I don't know. I was kind of peeking in on some of the interviews. In some of the emails, but I will be at City Winery Philly on December 16th.
Oh,
yes, I will be at Philly City Winery on December 16th. So that poses a challenge with the conversation.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, but we'll talk. Okay.
We'll talk about something else. Yes,
I'm super excited to be headed to Philly because I haven't been to Philly a lot at all, and it's a lot of love in Philly. The last time I remember being there, I was with the McDonald's tour in 2017. I feel like
no, before that,
2017. Golly,
before that, 2014. I brought you to New Covenant, and my friend Angel and I, and you got the cake, Debbie Church.
Oh my God!
Yes, remember that? You got the cake with your image on there.
Yes.
And we said you got churched.
Yes.
That was 2014.
Oh my God, time flies.
I know. I saw it.
It's been too long. Yeah, it's been too long. It's been too long. I hope we can make something happen. We will.
Oh, we will. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We will. But that is not this interview.
Okay.
We apologize for that.
I went too far. I did too much. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We are back talking about Soul Sister here at Indigo Inspired Live, and we're here with the one and only Sherwin Williams from Gospel Music Buzz. Sherwin, go ahead. I'm gonna turn it over to you.
You mentioned Donald because I was gonna come to that. Right? You sang with Donald Lawrence and Company for a number of years. So how do you kind of package up that experience? How have you said that have influenced and even impacted or curb your own musical journey once you decided to become solo artist?
Oh, for sure. I think God favored me so much, so greatly with allowing me to be chosen by Donald Lawrence and as he was forming his group, The Company, back in 2004. So almost a decade, I was able to work with Donald, travel, record, tour, and just learn and glean and be a sponge, so it has impacted me greatly, professionally and personally. Personally, Donald is just a great guy. He's full of wisdom. His spirit is just so humble and welcoming, and he's always willing to give advice, and he's patient, and he lets me ask the dumb questions that a young artist didn't know and still don't know. And so that's always my brother, big brother, mentor, my boss, I still call him. He was very understanding when I was inspired to just step out and do solo work. He's always been so supportive, from his voice being on my first album. Professionally, it definitely impacted me as well, because I was just being a sponge. It wasn't lost on me that God had connected me with somebody that I was a fan of Donald Lawrence in Tri-City, still am a fan, so when I was able to be in the studio and I was just paying attention to him as he produced and worked with us as vocals, and the techniques that he gave us, and the way he talked to the engineer, what he wanted more of or less of, and he encouraged us to learn the business of music, not just, the music side, but business as well. So yeah, innumerable less valuable lessons that I still carry to me and apply to this day in business and in music and just as a person. So yeah, very impactful, very impactful. Shout out to my guy, Sir Donald Lawrence. Yes.
Yeah, one of the things you made mention of, I want to piggyback on that, because you're a big proponent of artist advocacy. And I reading that, and I was just so happy that an artist really went a step further than just being an artist, but that you went into that business component of it, and the advocacy element. A lot of people don't talk about, and so let's touch that a little bit. Exactly what made you go into that and really, be that champion for that advocacy.
Well, I think it was, I didn't see this day coming. Honestly, I think it's by default, if you will, but God knows our journey, even when we don't see it ahead of us. But I started out independently. I recorded my first album totally independently. And then I later signed with a major label, and I did a temporary license deal for that album. So I own my masters, and I began owning my masters. I've had a couple of different scenarios with major labels, but I've always had that independent part of my journey. Even when I was signed with or affiliated with labels, I still invested a lot of my own money and worked hard, because I believe in my art. I'm very passionate about my art. And sometimes when you put your art in other people's hands, they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to handle it correctly or in a way that you're comfortable with. And I noticed early on that I had interest further than just this artist space. We would be in meetings, weekly meetings, and the label executives, they would just want to talk to me about the photo shoot, and when the album's going to release, and the colors that this promo performance. And I was like, okay, cool, so the budget is what, and the streams are doing what, and the marketing plan is what. They were like, don't worry about that, you don't have to worry about that, just worry about the artist stuff. You can get off the phone now, we're going to continue the call, but you can hang up now. And that was never comfortable for me, because I was interested in more than just that. So I knew then that I needed to just position myself little by little to see those commitments through with the labels that I was with, and work towards being completely independent and being able to make my own decisions and have I've always had creative control, but I needed business control as well. To be able to support my music the way I was most comfortable. When my music didn't soar to the top of the charts or didn't do that great on radio, or the sales weren't all crazy, then the label just, they were shaking in their boots. They didn't know what to do. They were like, maybe you need a different sound. This music isn't right. Maybe you need another producer. And I was sitting there like, y'all, listen, I believed in my music the whole time. So I wasn't shaking in my boots the way they were. So I was like, that's that industry stuff that I can't let myself get caught up in. Because when it was seeping into my spirit, they were like, yeah, this isn't doing good. Yeah, this song is number so-and-so. It's not that great this week. It was discouraging to me. And it made me doubt what I was doing. And maybe this isn't right. Maybe I shouldn't. But then I would run into people or see on social media testimonies and people that was like, oh, Speechless has really blessed me.
Mhm.
And oh, Jesus will carries me through this or that time. And oh, this helped my father. And oh, this helped me graduate, girl. It was me and you every night getting my PhD, girl.
Mhm.
You know, those kinds of lifetimes, those testimonies helped me to cling to what meant the most. And it wasn't industry accolades, but it was people accolades that let me know this music is living in people's hearts.
Yeah.
Now I might not get that Grammy, and it might not get that Stella, and it might not be #1 on them charts for 12 weeks, but these people 10 years later are still speaking about music that I released in 2010 and 2011, you know. So that's the trophy for me. That's what I'm so grateful for. And along the way, I've just been telling my truth and telling my story, and hopefully independent artists are encouraged to care for their art the same way. And everybody isn't wired the same. Some people are
Okay.
not interested in all that business because it can be stressful.
Mhm.
You know, independent, that route can be more rewarding because when you invest, it's gonna come right back to you. You know, you have that control over your product and everything that you do, but it is a lot. It is a lot of business and tedious tasks that you have to consider. So, you know, to each his own, to each her own. But I just knew the route that was best for me and for the people that have the wherewithal to go this route. I just encourage them to do so you can, because we see so many artists that think they want to be a part of a label, and then a month later they be like, oh, this label ain't doing that. You know, they're frustrated with their label. So for those people, I'm always just trying to encourage them, like, y'all, it is possible. It's possible to do. Hey, Rodney, I love Rodney. Yeah, you know, so I hopefully if just one somebody is encouraged to commit to their independent journey, I'm grateful. I just want people to know that it is possible, and labels are not the end all be all if you feel like you want to go a different route.
See, that's so good hearing you say that, right? Because I think traditionally you know, it's, hey, I want to start doing music, I want to put a band, or I want to get a group, or I want to do solo, and by the way, I want to be signed. And it's always this I want to be signed type situation that is always the
Yeah,
case after. But more and
yeah.
more I'm hearing the same thing that what you're saying, because even, and I've heard, I think it was even when Todd Delaney told his story. When I went to a
Hmm.
listening session, he said, "Hey, when the label signed me, I was basically put on the side for several years, and they weren't really sure what to do with me,
What
how
to
to
do?
use my song. And I kept showing them, hey, I'm gonna work hard, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that." So you know, it's the same
Yeah,
thing throughout, right? Like no one should be outworking you, right? You
Mm.
should be
yeah,
working harder than your
exactly.
team. You should be working
Yeah,
harder than your label. You should be working harder than
yeah,
everyone else, and they're gonna just come alongside what you're doing. So you know,
yeah.
you're pretty much saying the same thing. And then to what you
Hmm.
mentioned as far as the business aspect and owning your masters. So talk about
Hmm.
talk about RMI. So when you started,
Hmm.
you know, Reflection Media Group, and that aspect of that plus together of owning your masters, just touch a little bit on the importance of that, or for someone that just haven't heard the term masters, like what does that even really mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. That those are your those are the recordings of your music. The audio recording of your music. You own that. Um, that means you pay for that. That means you sacrifice to invest in that. And that also means when that is uploaded, those audio files are uploaded to whatever distribution you use with TuneCore or CD Baby or DistroKid. When it goes to Apple and iTunes and Spotify, all of that comes right back to you because you
Mhm.
own that. You paid
Mhm.
for that and you invested in that. And I think that's important. Ownership is important. I think a lot of times sometimes artists think that you need a label, but now you can do so much yourself.
Yeah.
You know, there's anything that you don't know how to do is a YouTube video away. Um,
YouTube
you
University.
know,
I'll tell you, a
exactly.
lot of
YouTube
graduates, a lot
University.
of graduates.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah, I'm grateful to own my music, and just to have that control over, I'm able to represent it. It's monetized on YouTube, it's monetized everywhere. We can re-record or do compilation albums and CDs. We could just put the instrumentals up. We could do all of these other things. And it belongs to you, and rightfully so, because you're the one that did that hard work. Far too often we think that we need a label and they get 20%, or they get the biggest part of the bag, but they did the least of the work. And y'all were nowhere around when I wrote this song, when I recorded this song, when I produced this song, so I just began to learn those questions and learn those answers, and know that I was just motivated to do it, and again, everybody's not interested in it. Sometimes people are like, that's cool, they can take their percentage and they can handle all that tedious stuff. That's cool. If that's how you feel, then that's what's best for you. But for people like me that kind of just want more control, and sometimes you drop your babies off at the daycare and you don't know if they're going to be cared for correctly, and that's how it can feel with my art. If it's in the wrong hands, and y'all, like Todd said, they sometimes labels sign folks and they don't know what to do with them. And it began to be like that. If it's not the traditional gospel sound or like the worship sound that's popular right now, they try to get me to like re-record worship songs, do that popular thing. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in doing that. That's not authentic to me. You have to be able to be in control and not let them try to make you into something that you're not. So just taking control of your career is very rewarding, and a part of that is definitely owning the master recordings of your songs, of your music.
Wow.
I hope I answered your question.
No, you did.
No, you absolutely did.
Spot on, and spot on. There's going to be a lot of persons looking back at this stream that is just gonna that light bulb is gonna go off. So I think you definitely answered it for sure.
Good.
Absolutely. So we are. You mentioned "Speechless" and "Jesus Will," which I mean, two songs that just came off of that album from two. Now it says on 218, and I think it's a little bit before that actually. So "Worship."
218. What says 218?
No, when you look up your discography, it says 218. I think it's a little before that. But it was because Jesus Will. I mean, you can't go nowhere without singing that song. Now, because just once again, it's like that. It's the anthem. Jesus Will, no matter what. I was about to sing it, but I'm not doing it. I'm not Anita Wilson.
Sing it.
I'm not. But
do it.
No. But I looked at the amount of times it was shared from YouTube when you did it live, and oh my goodness, I mean, Jesus Will has been around the globe like how many times? And when you look at that and you start seeing, as you said, you alluded to the fact that people were just coming to you and giving you their personal testimonies about what your music meant to them. But when you see it also with how many times somebody watched the video, or somebody else maybe singing it in a church or something like that, how does that make you feel? Like there's a little Anita go like, wow, like I always hope for this, and it's here.
Yeah, well, I didn't know this was going to be my path. I feel like people around me knew, my parents knew. I didn't even like to sing as a little girl, honestly, but my family was musically inclined. So we did the concerts and we did all kinds of things, but my love for music happened later in my life. So I didn't see this day coming. So it's definitely a wow moment. And it doesn't get old. It never gets old when people tag me on the videos, and they're definitely still singing it in churches every week. And they're making dance videos to it and all of that. Like it's just crazy. It's really, really dope. And that, that's the power of a song. And I'm glad to kind of put my little stamp on a song, because shout out to James Cleveland, who wrote the song in the 1960s. I was just able to cover that song and put my little spin on it and my little signature the little things that when people do it, we know that they're doing the version that I released. So that feels really, really good, and it's very fulfilling because the music continues to live,
Yeah.
and not get old. But to that songwriter's credit, and the songs that me and Rick write, to the songwriter's credit, the power of a song is very powerful because anybody could sing it. And people continue to feel that thing, just like more than anything is a beautiful song. It's been recorded by many people, but the power of that song continues to live. So for songwriters, put that effort into your songs and make sure you're not just doing, Say My Soul Made Me Whole. You know what I mean? Like really put some effort into those songs and they'll continue to live. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we are at almost the top of the hour, and we want to make sure we go with. We definitely got to play a snippet of "Still Alive," and I know you've shared this over and over again through your interviews, but for our audience that will be hearing it, where did "Still Alive" come from?
Well, I'm shouting out. You're asking about the songs that Rick wrote tonight. So Rick Robinson wrote that song "Still Alive," and I love the vibe when he first let me hear it. I kind of went back and forth because I was like, yeah, this is dope. And I think we were thinking about other people for it. And then he was like, I think you could sing this song. And I was like, really? And is it okay? And I was thinking about, I was like, oh, I don't really know if that's, I don't know if I could pull that off. He was like, you're tripping. Like you could totally do this song. Come on, Anita. But I just had to kind of get used to it, get it in my voice and all of that. And I thought it was the perfect song for this time because to me, it's, I call it the funkiest testimony service ever, starting with giving honor to God, who's the head of my life. And I just feel like it's just, the time that we lived through still blows my mind. And it ain't over. But man, 2020 was like a doozy on so many different levels.
Yeah.
So many different levels. And just a year and a half ago, we were all like, what in the world are we living through? I would just say it, watch the news, and we would say through the house, like, what are we seeing? Like, what are we living through? Let alone what happened on January 6th of this year. And the administration. It was just so the racial climate and it was too much. So I was like, I have to detail all of that to say it's not lost on me that God let us live through that.
Wow.
Because there's a list of over 600,000 people who died from this virus.
Yeah.
And we got the nerve to be sitting up here on our little video cameras chilling. Why did God let us live? Why did you let me see this day? I'm grateful, Lord. Clearly there's more work to be completed, like the second verse says. And I just want to bust out of the doors and shout from the mountaintop. I'm still here, guys. Can you believe it? We're still here. I just want to encourage that excitement to everybody to not take God's blessings for granted, because we got comfortable real quick when the world opened on up. We got comfortable so quick. We started all our events. We back at church. We doing this. We at the club. We at the restaurants. We ain't scared to eat out anymore and drink from the glasses and use the fork. We're not even scared anymore. We got comfortable really quickly. But it is the grace of God that we are here. For the people that had corona and got past it, because there's some people that had it and couldn't get past it. It's some people we've been around that had it and we didn't realize it, so that I could go on and on there, but I won't. But that's the heart behind that message of Still Alive. And it's just dancing with the joy of gratitude to God and letting God know I'm not taking this blessing for granted. Y'all, let's make the most of it, because our time, we won't be here forever. So make sure you complete the work that God has for you to do, because we're still alive.
Absolutely. And we're going to play a little snippet of that. And once again, hey, I'm excited about this. I'm enjoying myself.
Yay, me too.
Can you clap your hands? Bob your head? Feel good. Giving honor to God, who's the head of my life. I wonder Honey, if you mind if I testify, I came to tell you that I survived. The Lord is my light, y'all, and I don't have a reason to fear. Give me but your best shot, give it all you got, and I'll still be standing here. You may think you know, but you don't really know how far I've come. Those dark nights had me feeling kind of low. Thought I was done. I know He's got it all in control. I'll be alright. I'm telling everywhere that I go, I'm still alive. At this moment, that's me. I am not a chance to get it right. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Yeah. That's right. I'm so glad to say I survived. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been sick? Just put one memory on your mind. When the situation was fixed, He gave you the power. You will never be defeated. You shall live and not die. There's work to be completed. Yeah. You know, but you don't know how far I've come. Yeah. Thought I was done. I'll be alright. I'm telling everywhere that I go, I'm still alive. Yeah. Another chance to get it right. I'm still alive. Oh, yeah. I got that favor on mine.
Listen.
I heard you humming. I heard you over there humming.
Listen. I almost got my chair and did something, but I can't. I'm stuck in the screen here.
You got to break out of the screen. The screen.
Okay.
For sure. Anita, listen. First of all, we are not going to give you the whole amount because you're going to support this project. You're going to go.
No freebies. No
freebies. We are going ahead and we're going to support this project. I have personally purchased the project, not because I have an interview, because I support who I bring on here. And it's so important to support our artists who pour into these projects during a pandemic. We're still in it, kind of, sort of. No, we're still in it because people are still getting it. So
That's right.
Please take the time, support these artists. And Anita put her heart and soul, and her husband, Rick Robinson, who I'm going to caveat back to 214. So when you came to Philly, I saw Rick playing, you were doing everything at the church, blah, blah. And I said, boy, he's looking at her. He really likes her. He's not just he really likes her. And I had a vibe. I said, wow. And when I found out, next thing I saw, whatever time passed, Anita got married. I said, oh, she got married. When I saw the picture, I said,
I knew it. Several people have said they're like, I knew y'all was gonna get together. I knew it.
Like your grandmother said, I just knew.
Yeah.
I mean, he just had eyes for you, and then to find out that you guys got married. I mean, that was so awesome. That is so awesome.
Thank you.
That music collaboration with him, with you guys writing, producing, the whole 9 yards. That really must that must be a dope household to be in, though. And who else has a house like that? Angela Moss Poole and her husband. Yeah. It's something about the team. It's something about that husband-wife team that just merges musically. And you guys are cranking out some powerful and amazing music. So
wow, thank you so much.
Yeah, so Rick may be watching this, so he will watch this. Just let him know I saw you, Rick.
Okay, I'm sure I'm gonna tell him.
I saw you in 214. I saw you in 214. Yes. So, Sherwood, anything you want to ask before we get ready and let her go?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to read out some of the comments real quick. So, one person is saying, so we have Yanette Hall, such a dope. She said, such a vibe of truth. Mm-hmm. And then also Ingrid Foster said, I've had a brace on my right hand all day, but these fingers are popping.
That's my soldier. Hey Ingrid. That's my soldier. I saw
Ingrid is getting it in. She's getting it in.
Listen, don't re-injure yourself. Don't re-injure yourself and put yourself in a seat.
Keep that hand in that brace, Ingrid. Keep it in the brace.
Right.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome,
I
awesome,
mean,
awesome.
it's all positive things that everyone is saying. I mean, the project in and of itself,
Thank you.
it's just been, from all the songs that I've listened to so far, it's been inspirational. It's been uplifting, and it's you, right? Like you said, it's you. And it's great to hear when someone say, hey, at this phase of my life, at this
Yes.
phase of my musical and
Mhm.
artistry, like I'm just comfortable doing what I'm doing and comfortable being in that space. Like that's what it was
Yeah.
for me tonight. When you said that, I'm like, that is
Thank
good.
you.
That is just, it's great to see that, to have that freedom, to not be restricted by, whether it's a label or by anything else. Like, hey, be this person. If the new thing next week is playing the bongos, then you see Anita out there in the
Yep.
bongos.
Yep.
Like it's
Mhm.
just
Yep.
like just seeing you being you, man.
Yeah.
You just keep being you. You're a blessing to
Thank
so
you.
many of us. And yeah, that's all I have, Patrice.
Thank
Awesome,
you.
awesome, awesome. So, Anita, how can everybody, they would know how to find you, but just for the sake of, we want to make sure we cover everything. How can people follow you on social media?
For sure. At Miss Anita Wilson, that's MSANITA WILSON on Twitter and Instagram. Anita Wilson on Facebook. Anita Wilson on YouTube, and MissAnitaWilson.com. Is my website, MissAnitaWilson.com. That if you want to text me, you can text 312-487-4473. We can keep in touch like that as well. But y'all hit me up. I love to interact on social media and keep in touch with you guys. And get Soul Sister. And you are now officially on the Soul Sister Street team. You didn't know that you would sign up just by viewing this tonight, but you are now. So
Mhm.
you got to tell 10 people about the album and invite them to get it as well. All right.
And
Okay.
what's
All right.
going down on real quick, what's going down? There's an Instagram live that everyone needs to be on. Let us know about that
Yeah.
live.
Yes, absolutely. Tomorrow we are doing Inside the Song with Faith Evans tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Central, at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. On my IG Live, we're going to be talking to Faith Evans, just kind of diving into the story behind creating You Are Not Alone. That's on the new Soul Sister album. So I'm excited. That's my IG is Miss Anita Wilson. At Miss Anita Wilson, y'all hit me up. My Soldier Ivy just reminded me there's new merch available on my
Mhm.
website. So hit the website to get your Soul Sister shirts and all kind of stuff. And we're going to continue to add more items. They are going to be up soon. Out Here Trusting God, all that merch is available on the website. So yeah, y'all tune in tomorrow. It should be cool. And you can say what's up to Faith Evans and y'all can hang out with us.
Listen,
Awesome. We will be there.
Gospel
We
Music
will be
Buzz
in the
and Indigo
comments.
Inspired. We'll be on there. We're gonna be on there. We definitely
Good. Thank
we are
you.
going to be on there. So
Thank
I'm going to
you.
do something that I'm only going to do it this time because you got to hear how she kicked this off, and I'm only going to give you 30 seconds of it. That's it. After that, we're over. Here we go. A real love. Let's just do. This is what just took me in. Oh, here we go. Come on, technology. Don't you play with me. All right.
This is full transparency. Sometimes I deal with insecurities. Cause it can be so hard to see all of the beautiful things about me. There will be someday. There'll be some days when you're in a space in the mirror and say, I'm exactly who we meant to create. Oh, took a while, now I see a real love. It was God inside of me. A real love. Finally, I'm free to be the me that He designed me to be.
And that's it. She's told you from the
It's the
gate.
wrap.
It's a wrap. She told you from the gate. She is finally
Yes.
free. She is finally
Yep.
free.
And I did a little rapping on that song.
Listen, wait. Now I am the connoisseur of holy hip hop, and I said, now she gonna try this. I said, oh, she got bars.
Come through with the bars.
I said, she got bars. What? Okay. But anyway, Ms. Anita Wilson, aka Mrs. Robinson. Thank you so much for being here on Indigo Inspire Live and on the collab. We are so honored to have you join us tonight.
Yes.
And as we signing off, anything you want to say, Sherwin, before we go? Because I'm just having a good.
Just thank you. I mean, that's it. That's it. Just thank you.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. This was great. I enjoyed it, and I'll be back soon. We'll do this again sometime soon.
Absolutely. So to everyone here who's been joining us live here on Facebook as well as on YouTube, thank you so much for being a part of the Indigo Inspire Live show. It is a pleasure, and we do not take your support of our channel and what we're doing collaboratively for granted. So once again, hey, take the time to also, like our YouTube channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you'll be the first ones to know who we have coming up on the show. Next Monday, we have a special, another show called Movers and Shakers Influencers Edition. And we have the one and only Sean Governor Gibbs, who is moving and shaking. He's going to be with us. And I'm telling you, man, if you want to go back and watch the other broadcasts we had Uncle G, Greg Lyons was with us. We also had Maurette Brown Clark, who's also a woman doing things in the industry musically as well as, I mean, it's just amazing. So please follow us, be a part of the family, join the movement. And once again, like I always tell you, it's not just a vibe here, baby. It's a whole mood. Have a great night, everybody.